All right. So I've got this reel mower to look at here. The guy dropped it off, said it needed a lot of work. The main thing, you can see the chain that's supposed to link here. I guess he got careless, he's saying, because he has pavers that go around his yard, and he got careless and it knocked against it or something and broke the chain. So I'll be replacing that. What else? He was saying here on one of the clutch deals, when he would try to engage it, it would not engage or it would pop off. Yeah, I don't know. It's staying there, but I don't think the clutch is engaged. We'll take a look at that too once I get the chain on, get everything adjusted. And of course, with the blades, I think he tried to do this himself last year, and he said he lapped them himself, but now he's saying, you know, and they don't look that bad. He was saying, yeah, they need a really good sharpening and then honing. And so I took a close look at it this morning, and it's like, well, you know, the blades are not that bad shape. I was expecting to see some nicks or dullness or something like that, and they actually look pretty good. They do need lapping, and this bottom blade down here, I was expecting the same thing. I was expecting to see some damage or something, but now they actually look pretty good. I think the biggest problem, you can see how it's freewheeling. I just don't think it's adjusted right. You should hear it scraping against that bottom blade, so it'll cut like scissors. But this is not doing it at all. So I'm sure when he's trying to cut, it's giving him a real rough cut on the grass. It's not cutting it like it should. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do, I think I'm going to take this bottom blade off and make sure it's good and sharp. Then I'll put it back on, adjust the blade. Then I'll do the lapping on it, give it a good lapping job, and see if it'll get adjusted right and getting it to cut like scissors, you know. Then the chain, and I'll take a look at the clutches here while I put the chain on. So that's the plan. So I guess let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to take this blade off. Now there's some slotted screws under here. I don't think, yeah. If I try to take that off as is, I'll probably strip out the screws, the head of the screws. So I'm going to take the bolts off here on the side. You can see these three, and it holds this bottom piece on, which hold the blade. So that's a good side. And it dropped right out. See, if you look at that, that is not bad at all. Has a nice straight edge on it. So I'm probably going to, yeah, I think I'm just going to sharpen this up a little bit. So this time I was trying to use a file because this just needs a flat, just very flat this way, and you see the way it curves. And I was trying to, well, maybe a file will work, but I just don't want this to be uneven at all. I'm going to try something this time. This is on my Dremel, and you can see the fixture that's on it. This is actually part of a sharpening kit, and supposed to have one for a chainsaw, one for scissors, or you know, yeah, so this is part of a Dremel sharpening kit, and it came with these fixtures, different ones, one for looks like a chainsaw, scissors, and lawnmower blades. And so this is the one that's supposed to be for lawnmower blades. It doesn't look like I can use anything else, and it's not perfect because this is an oddly shaped, the way it curves up and then it's flat here. But I think, at least when I'm looking at it this way, if I kind of twist it, so right there, if I just follow that, it looks like I can keep a nice flat edge, just like that. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And I do have my eyewear on because this stuff is probably going to fly everywhere. But let's see what happens. See what a couple of swipes did. Man, that's looking good. Yeah, I'll do that a couple more times. Then I'll come back from underneath and get rid of any burrs or anything that happens up here. After that, it should be pretty damn sharp. But yeah, I'm kind of pleased. You can see where it's giving it a good edge. Oh, that feels much better. Alright. Let's see if I go the other way. Yeah, that's not going to work that way. Maybe here I'll take the file and get this bottom edge. Oh yeah. Very good. Well, that worked out pretty well. All right, well, let's put this back on and adjust everything, and then we'll lap the blades there. Alright. I need to get a decent bench one of these days, don't I? I need a table lift. Okay, so now we need to adjust the reel blades here, and on this one it's kind of funky. You'll probably see it better on this side. So you loosen these up, and there's a tool that you rotate this back and forth to line up. Because it's like an oblong shape, so as you turn it, it'll go in or out. Well, let's see if we can. I might be able to just use these needle nose and go back and forth with it, but I need to loosen all this stuff up first. Probably need to loosen both sides, really. Well, that should work. Let me loosen up the other side. Alright, so both sides are loosened. You can see just from the weight of it, that actually feels pretty good. You can see that. Yeah, it feels like it's going even all the way across, so I guess if I tighten it down, let's see if I can get this to stay in that same spot. Not bad. Now it's really tight. So I'm going to leave it very tight like this because I'm going to go back and lap these things. And so after I lap them, yeah, that's just about perfect. So the next thing, I'm going to get some lapping compound and brush it pretty generously across. each blade. Now this is the lapping compound. It's really for when I used on valves. It is pretty gritty. You can get some specific lapping compound for the real mowers at different grades, 80 grit, 60, 80, 120, I forget what they come in. And I don't know what this is rated for. I'd say it's a pretty rough one. It's probably a 60. But it works well. I've used this before. And I've used just regular rubbing compound before, for your car. And that's a real fine grit, 120 plus. But if you do this a lot, you can get the, a little small bucket container, with lapping compound on it. But I only do this, who knows, 4 or 5 times a year. But we'll see how it goes, because I actually have one there myself that I'm going to give a shot. But anyway, yeah, and you can see it's sparkling. You can see how gritty this stuff is. But I just put it liberally on each blade. And it does get kind of messy. Yeah, you can hear it start to grind already from the blades making their rotation. The only advantage to having a big bucket full of this stuff, it's when you start rotating it at a high speed. You can get a brush, dip it in the stuff, and keep lapping it, back and forth. This way takes a little longer, because after some lapping, well, you need to go back and redistribute the stuff. I'm going to try not to go too fast, because I want all this stuff, I don't want to go too fast. I don't want it to sling off totally. I want to be able to take this brush and run it along the sides as I go down, and it will shove some of the compound back to the front, you know what I mean? But you'll see. It's doable. Let me so there's my drill. Put a drill bit on it. I think it's a 3/4 on this one. Oh, it doesn't say. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 3/4. And you want it to spin backwards. So I'm going to stay on this side just in case it all slings off everywhere. Wow, it's really doing a good job. Let's do a little more. I'm going to put another layer and do the same thing. All right. See how it feels loose now? So it's been grinding away. But it's feeling better. So now I'm gonna readjust it and get it tight again. And be careful when you're rotating it around, because now that it's sharp, it will cut you. It seemed like it got tighter after I tightened that side down. So I've almost got this separated out. I thought I was filming. I looked over and the camera was off. But you see, I had a length of chain. I'll show you. Just wasn't quite long enough. Maybe 1/8 of an inch too short. So I measured off another length of chain here, and I've been using this little tool to try to punch that pin out, but it bottoms out way before it's all the way out. I think this is really made for a bicycle chain, which is a little smaller. This number 41 chain is a little larger. So to get that the rest of the way out, I'm going to put it in the vise and with a punch and get that the rest of the way out. So I'll be right back. Alright, so there's the length I think we need. I got those popped off. Nope. There we go. So it's going to seem pretty loose now, but this is supposed to be the tensioner, I believe. So I guess I should loosen that up. Ooh, that was already all the way. Let's see. I guess it goes that way, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. So, where is the link? Here's part of it. So it takes that, the flat piece, and then the clip. There we go. So let me move this over a bit. Give me some room to work with. And here's the flat. Doesn't seem to want to go on. There it is. And there's the clip. There we go. And then there's the tensioner. Boy, that's pretty flimsy, isn't it? Let's see how it does on the outside, if I can do it. I'm going to try to put the pulley on the inside and shove it out that way. Oh, it's still loose. Just out of curiosity, let's see which one works the best. I noticed on this one too, it's there's supposed to be a cover plate over this and a cover plate over all this stuff too, but all that is gone. Oh well, maybe he said he tried to work on it last year. Maybe he just left all that stuff off. Maybe he still got it in the garage somewhere. But for safety's sake, yeah, I would definitely have these covers on there. Well, I tell you what, before I adjust the clutches, I'm going to crank it up and roll around with it and see how that does. Well, everything's running good. Just looks like this chain was a little loose. And that is just controlled by moving the motor back and forth, I do believe. All these are good and tight. Yeah, so you can see it's pretty loose here, and you can see the motor mounts 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and see how they're slotted. So you're supposed to loosen that up, and you move the engine back and forth to tighten that up. But it looks like it's almost at the end of the slot. Well, now, okay, I can feel a little bit of it under here. So there's a little room for it. I'm going to loosen it up, shove it all the way back, and get this tightened. And that's just going to wear that sprocket out pretty quick. So, okay, all that is off. I'm going to switch this around. You can see when it was spinning, this side gets taut and it's loose here, so it's probably just going to... Alright, sorry, my camera went out, switched the batteries, but like I was saying, you can see how this chain, when it's rolling, this actually tightened up and it was real loose here. So I think I'm going to switch this tensioner again, put it on the inside out here, because right now you can see where the chains were rubbing against each other, and I think they're just going to wear out quicker. We'll see how this one goes. So now it'll be tensioned here and loose here, but at least the chain won't be wearing out on each other. Let's see how that looks. Well, I think that's a little better. So all this time, I don't know if, I know you can't, there's no sense of smell on a video, but that's what I've been smelling all day. There's 3 racks, and there's 3 more. 6 racks of ribs. Yum.